hearing about our intern and bear updates. It's really exciting. We're on our third hour now, and we've got
We
quite
are
a bit
pumped.
to go, but we're having a really good time for sure. So, kind of just talking about the intern program. Like Spencer was saying, this was my first year as the biologist and intern director here. And I don't know, pat myself on the back maybe, but I thought it was a pretty good year.
I thought it went very well
I
with
was,
her too.
oh, thank you. I was very, very happy with the interns that we had here, with the work that they did. I just love you guys so much, and I know that you guys are going to go on to do really, really, really awesome things. It is very strange. A lot of them were my age or older, but I still feel like a proud mom
Yeah.
when they're posting their things. Ben, he'll send some pictures to our summer intern group chat with some salamanders he's been catching as part of his program. Bree is doing some cool fishery stuff. Yeah, so she's kind of going down that route, it seems, a little bit too. But it's just really nice when the interns check in and just kind of, hey, I miss you. How are the bears? How are things at the Bear Center? Here's what I'm doing now. It's just really, really nice, and I hope that continues. I really enjoy connecting with them.
It's always interesting when they get back to us because it's always, hey, how are you? How are the bears? And it's not usually, it's usually the bears before anybody else, and the bears make such a huge impact.
Oh yeah.
On not only us. I've been doing this since this place was built, and took over about 2011 as bear keeper, and it's always awe-inspiring to me when I walk out. When I come back in the spring and I'll see Tosh, or usually Lucky's the last one I see because he doesn't like to step on the snow. But Holly, and it's always such a nice greeting because it's like, first of all, they're like, yeah, I do remember you. Okay. And it's a pretty cool experience. But with our interns, we introduce them right away after they've been here for a few hours.
Yep.
And each one of the interns get a personal introduction to the bears. And the bears usually do very well with the reactions.
Yes. Yep.
So it's always a fun time when the interns come. And we look forward to it because the first few weeks, as you folks know, the first few weeks of the season, it's usually Spencer, Macy, Brandon when he's here, and we do all the behind the scenes, and so it's such a joy. Like, when are they going to be ready? When are they going to be ready to get them pushed into doing the behind the scenes?
And I got to say, I mean, it's hard because this is my first year, so I don't really have much to compare with previous years. But personally, I was really impressed. A couple of the interns were giving tours well
Right away.
before
Yes.
I was ever expecting them to do it, and a couple of them, I was like, "Are you sure you weren't an intern in the past or something?" Because we had some that were just absolute naturals. All of them grew into being really, really, really well great public speakers. And so that's also just a really nice thing to see too. You go out for their first behind the scenes tour, and naturally they're a little bit nervous. I know I for sure was, kind of nervous, glancing over at us every once in a while. And then eventually they blossom into this really awesome public speaker, really able to share some really great biological information, not just on the behind the scenes tours, but our ecology interns too. I think they get kind of understated a lot here, but they do really, really great work with all of our small animals we have here. We'll be talking about those small animals a little bit later too, but they do some really great work. They do a couple different programs throughout the day, and I think something in the future that Spencer and I have been talking about is adding on maybe some more programs, maybe a birding program or something like that, just more ways to get the ecology interns involved. But both of our intern programs, the Bear Educator and the Northwoods Ecology, are really, really great opportunities for young professionals in the biology field.
And when of course, Macy goes over their application before they come, and we like to say we always try to do a mixture of whom we are going to bring in. But it's always interesting when they come here because they've not probably ever worked with a bear.
Yeah.
And a new experience, and just to watch their faces when they approach and that's part of my job, is to see how not only how the bear reacts to them, but how they react to the bear the first time. And that's a good indication of how, things are going to go as they get more comfortable
Yeah.
here with not only their speaking, but all the care that goes into the bears, because it's not just like you throw a bunch of food in and walk away. There's tons of work that has to be done out
Yeah.
there before we open in the morning. Meal
Mhm.
preparation, everything is written down for them, but there's always questions. We just moved to new scaling so that we
Yeah.
have not only ounces but grams,
Yep.
and so they can weigh either way they're comfortable with. Me, I'm old school, so I use ounces.
Uh-huh.
But I have, since we've started new programs with the nutrition, I've had to learn in grams too. So it's old dogs can learn new tricks. That's me. I've learned new things and had to incorporate them into my job as a caregiver and bear keeper to our bears. So that's always fun for me. But it's cool to go in and see that the interns are going, this looks good for enrichment. What do you think? And it's always a yay or a nay, but usually a yay.
Yeah.
And this year, the interns just did a phenomenal job with different enrichments. And Macy, just a little bit, why do you think enrichment is so important?
Oh my gosh, enrichment is super, super important for any animal, not just bears, but in any kind of zoo place that you're going to. They should be doing enrichment. That's a really necessary part of an animal's welfare and well-being. Just think if you were kind of stuck in one location and you had nothing to do all day, you probably would not be very happy, and that's the last thing we want for our bears. So
Right.
we do different kinds of enrichment. It's not always physical enrichment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be scent, new things, new food items. Those are all great forms of enrichment, but it's a really good way of keeping them physically stimulated as well as mentally stimulated, kind of testing out new skills, enhancing skills they already have. It's just, I could go on and on about it, but it's a really, really beneficial thing that we have here, that we do here.
Yes, the mental stimulation and keeping them so they're not bored. Lucky probably looks forward to it the most.
Hmm.
Tasha just knows. She just sits and waits. One of Tasha's favorite ones, and interns, you're going to email me or text me and say I did that. I can't remember who did the cookie one. But that is Tasha's absolute favorite.
Yeah, before my time. So I don't know.
It's always fun to watch her because it takes myself and an intern to lift those logs up to get the food in between, and with Tasha it's just like flip, tongue goes in, eats the food. The other one is Ethan, and did the tire
Yeah, the tire
tire
swing.
swing.
Yeah.
That has been just
Yeah,
such
they
a
love that.
great enrichment. But I'm mentioning a couple. There are probably 50 new enrichments that we just use something. We don't do the same enrichment every day
Yeah.
because then the bears get bored with it. It's like, oh yeah, we know how to do this.
Mhm.
Lucky is a thinker. Lucky likes to be taxed with a new thing. And Tasha likes something easy, so we always give her something that's a little bit harder.
Yep.
And then Holly, if it's too hard, she's like, I'm not even
Destroy
interested.
it.
Yeah,
Well, destroy it or walk away from it.
destroy it or walk
Yeah.
away because that's her.
No gray area.
But it's always fun to see the way each bear reacts differently, and we'll get into that a little bit more later when we're doing. And this afternoon we're
Yep.
doing some bear care stuff, and we have some exciting things that we're doing that we've touched on, but we haven't necessarily talked about. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I wanted to mention something about the intern program. When I first started here, we would have maybe one during the summer that would come to us, and of course it wasn't a paid position at all, as they get a stipend now.
Mhm.
But as we grew, as the program began, we learned from foundation, and then we advanced into more. We started with one for a few years, and then there was 4. Now we're up to 8,
Mhm.
and maybe adding more.
We're adding more next year.
And,
We are.
and it's going to be exciting. But I looked at the programs when I first started, I looked at the Wolf Center, and they already had interns because they were established long before we were. And I said, you know what? I want our place, the North American Bear Center, to be a stepping stone for interns that came here that aren't just learning because they needed a summer place to come to
Yeah.
and they wanted to do something. I wanted them to not only learn something, and bears can be the best teachers in the whole
Oh,
world,
for sure.
and to learn something, but to be able to take something away from it to advance where they are going. So I think we've achieved that, and I'm so proud of what not only Macy's doing, but Natasha. She was prior to Macy, and Spencer, and then Judy Thone and I did it for a while. So
Yeah.
we great job,
A little
guys.
bit of an
Look at
update.
that.
Thank
Look
you.
at there. We just had an update on what you're giving, so thank you so much.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Yeah. So, but intern-wise, honestly, there's so much work to do here during the summer.
Yep.
And sometimes, the interns will say, so we have 6 interns, and then they're doing back to back to back to back. They're just continually doing behind the scenes. It's the interns that really promote us
Oh, yeah.
and give us good words out there. So I'm going to let Macy take over a little bit from there. But let's keep going, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for your donations. You might be wondering, okay, well, what the heck does the intern program have to do with new carpeting and updates to the museum? When interns come in here for the first time, a lot of them, this is the first time that they've ever seen or have heard about the North American Bear Center. So when they come in, we want to make sure that this is a place that they want to work at, that they're proud to come to every single day. Like we said, what was it, 2016 was the last time that we had carpeting. We've had a lot of interns since then, and so lots of things happening on these carpets. So,
well, before 2016, this was not carpeted.
Oh,
This was, and the volume of sound when you were walking on the tiles.
yeah.
And we've had a flood in here a couple times.
Jeez.
It's been
Yeah.
not only when it was tiled. Some of you might even remember when we first opened how the ecology hall wasn't even here. And we had these back doors, and it was ground level, and the water came into where the theater ends, the wall ends. And Dr. Rogers, and especially Donna Rogers, ended up having to clean that up all by themselves. And it was a tremendous, tremendous task. So having carpeting and redoing the land structure has been a plus, but we definitely want the interns when they come in. I've been here. I've been here since 2007, which really ages me, guys. I know that. I'm getting ready. I'm going to retire one of these years. Macy goes, not my day. Anyway. When you walk through this door, you want to go, oh, look at this place.
Yep.
This is amazing. And that's what we want everybody to see when they walk through our front doors, is that awe moment of, well, there's not bears in here. Where are the bears? And then they can walk right over to those large windows. But coming through the door, they want to be welcomed, and you want them to see a beautiful, beautiful area to walk into. And right now, the carpet here is very worn, and it is very stained. Several, like they said this morning, clean up several times. Yeah. But with your help, we're going to get this done. And we thank you so much for helping us out with Give to the Max. And we have some exciting stuff coming up in the next few hours. So
yeah, we're looking forward to it. One last thing. I know we're kind of trying to keep these under 20 if we can.
We're trying.
We're trying, but we got so much to say, Sharon and I. The other day, I was back there doing ecology stuff. I was walking at a normal pace in a perfectly clear path, and I tripped. And I rolled my ankle. The carpet reached out and grabbed me. That it's becoming a risk to employees. This has to go. We need new carpeting.
And she's not exaggerating.
No, I rolled. It was not good.
So, But yeah, we want to thank you all for tuning in, and we're going to come back around four hour time,
Mhm.
and which on the East Coast it would be 5. So keep tuned in because we've got a lot of great things to talk about with the Bears, and Macy and I are we're very excited about what we're doing, and we I have had some help along the way, so we are going to be talking about that and probably a million other things
For
too.
sure, yep.
If it's one thing we can sit here and talk about is bears and interns.
Yep.
So,
we could go all day. This could be our fundraiser, just all day. Talk about this.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
No,
Every time we
planned.
mention bears, we should get $5.
Right, right. Yeah, that's the key word there. Yeah.
Macy used to when she was an intern. And by the way, I just want to say she was my intern.
That's right.
We now have her, and we're going to keep her for a while, even if she wants to leave. I'm not going to let her. But she used to say, if we had a group out there, she'd say, and the bears say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And she'd go through the whole list of folks that were out there. So we want to say bear like the same amount, bear, 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 bear. And then every time we say bear, everybody donates $5.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you guys do get thanked individually, too. So
yeah, you
we
do get
make
thanked
sure that
individually.
we're doing that,
So.
yes.
Cool. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back with you in a little while.
Thank you.
Thank you.